Hi. Well, I am getting ready to work on a beach cover up, and it's not going to be with a traditional yarn. I'm not using cotton, using what I have on hand. And this particular yarn is beautiful. Beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? That's just beautiful. Sitting in my favorite place. It's not good in lighting again. But this is the yarn. It's a lot of it actually. This yarn actually has 507. Let me see if I can get it to zoom in. 507.44 yards. That's 7.5 ounces. It's a lot of yarn. And that's who it's by. Loops and Thread. And my sister sent it to me, so I must have bought it when I was in California or something. I'm not sure. But so I'm using a G hook, and I just love this hook. Wonderful, wonderful hook. If you see it in the store, buy it. You will love how it feels in your hand. So what I'm going to do is make a band around my waist and see how thick I am around my waist, which probably be a couple hundred of these chains. I'll count them once I'm done. Then I'll connect it together, and then I'll just make it in the round. Okay, and I'll actually probably make it with a split in it. But as we go along, I'll show you what I'm doing. And then from that, you can just design and do what you like. All right. Did I say what kind of yarn this was? Did it say acrylic or... Let's see. Yarn. Sorry about that machine wash. No. So information I got. Oh, acrylic, 100%. Alright. How'd I miss that? Alright, let's have fun. Hey, you know, any of you guys who follow me on a regular basis know I don't do a traditional tutorial. I crochet just anytime during my life of the day. So, look. I just went around my waist, and I know it's going to take up some, so I'm not going to make it tight, because I want to be able to get it over my shoulders and it drop down. And if it's too big, I can always put a drawstring in it, but I'm going to make a band out of this. So, look at there. I'm going to count how many stitches I have, and I'm going to drop about 4 stitches, just so it's not too big. Right now, I just grab the end. Just trying to, it's not too much. I can get my phone right in there. Yep. I don't want it tight, but just enough so I can pull it down, and my hips and my behind will hold it on. I'm going to count the stitches. Okay, so if I did this right, I got 160 on here. And when I started counting, I took the beginning and stuck it on my hook. And then I put this on and I crocheted some more. So that this should be in the right direction. And then what I'm going to do is just pull that through the hoop, through my beginning stitch, chain 1, and start crocheting. So it should be going in the right direction if I did this right. It's kind of hard to tell. It doesn't look right to me. Let me take that out. Go back and put this in again. And I'm trying to make sure the circle is pretty much together. But, oh no, that doesn't look right to me. but it should be okay because I'm going to work from the back anyway. I like using the back stitch. And the reason I do that is because it gives me a two-sided edge. And I'm going to do these with singles, or should I do half doubles? What you think? It's going to take forever if I do singles. So let's do half doubles. So instead of chaining one, I'm going to chain two. And you guys know half double is a yarn over and into the stitch, pull through all three. Yarn over. So what I'm doing I'm working on the back of the stitch and I'm picking up the bump. And by doing that, it makes both sides the same. Alright, so I'm going to do that all the way around my 160 stitches. Half doubles. Oh, that's going to be cute. Let me put some more light on in here. Ooh, and look what happens when you shine some light. Get to see pretty good, huh? So this is what it looks like. It's beautiful yarn. Alright, and so what I was trying to tell you why I go in the back of the bump, because it creates this side. The side that looks just like this side. They both look the same. So you ought to try that. Going into the back of the chain stitch. Chain stitch. And I call them bumps. Let's see if I can get her to focus. I don't know how to show it to you. It doesn't want to focus. It's beautiful. I'm going to see if I can lay it down and show you both sides what I'm talking about. Okay, so now I've laid it down. So look at there. This is what I'm talking about. You have this side and you have this side when you work off of the back of the chain. And so what that simply means is this is the back. And I'm just picking up the bump. There's a bump, there's a bump, there's a bump, there's a bump. And as you pick up the bumps, what happens is this one is left out and that one is left out, and it creates that. And you'll find that this is wonderful to use when you want to work off of both sides of your work. So that's just some little technique I like to show you. So instead of, as normal, you would crochet off of this side and you would just go straight through the middle, and then you just have that one there. It makes a big difference. I'm going to do about 5 or no, I'm not going to change it over because then I'll mess it up. Okay, I'm going to keep going all around. So I'm creating the band for my waist. So I'm going to make the band probably about that big, and then I'm going to create either, I don't know if I'm going to do squares or diamonds or I'm not sure what shape, but it'll be all holy spaces all the way around for my swimsuit cover up for the bottom half of me. And depending on how much yarn I have, I might make a top or make a scrunchie, make a tube top swimsuit, maybe something like that. We'll see as the video goes. I'll start one way and end some other way. I'm coming around and it came out perfect by putting that hook, put it at, like I did at the beginning, put that on there and then add the other one on. It made it come out perfect. A lot of times when I was doing stuff in the round, I could never get it straight. That really worked for me that time. So I only got about 4 more stitches here, and then I'm going to close it in. So let's see, which technique am I going to use to close it in. I'm at the beginning of the chain stitch right now, so I'm picking up, because at the beginning I filter in my tail, so that makes this part a little bumpy. But I'll work it out down to the last two. So what I'm going to do is do the last one, and then to close it, first I'm going to make sure it's all straight. It is straight. Okay, to close it, this technique I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to go into the top of the first stitch, and I'm going to put that loop on the hook, and I'm going to just pull it through there. That's another one I like to do. Let's see how that looks. Pull it through. I think that's good. I think that looks okay. I'm all over the place. I love you guys. See? I just pulled it through. I think that works good. I think that's going to work. And then I'm going to chain one and go right back into that space with a single. And what'll happen will be a little bumpy on the inside, but on the outside it'll look very believable, like it's just a continuous circle. Alright, so I'm going to go around about possibly 3 or 4 rows, maybe. What do you think? I want to have it about 4 or 5 inch nice size band. Don't do half doubles. Now I could get real creative here and put some design in the band if I want, but I'm just gonna keep it simple. It's just something to throw over my swimsuit to camouflage those thighs and behind while I'm walking around at the resort or on the beach or wherever I choose to wear it. And I'm not sure this will be done before I go on my trips. I'm going to Florida, and I'm going to, let's see, in April I'm going to Florida, in May I'm going to Myrtle Beach. So you won't get to see those pictures. I'll put them on my Facebook page under Design by Dana. That's what I'll do if you want to look at them. But anyway, so I'm just doing half doubles, and beautiful. That's the wrong side. This is the right side. And this yarn just works up so nicely. It's going to lay so pretty. Alright, I'll come back when I'm finished. Hope you got that. I know you did. Just rewind. Yep. Now see, if I wanted to put some texture in here, I could go in the back loop. Go into the back loop with the half double, and that would leave a ridge out. But I'm just going to keep it simple. But when you're designing, think outside the box. Texturize it. Especially if you're going to gift it to somebody. They'll be like, you didn't make that. Okay, don't let me get carried away here. I don't want to make this video too long. Alright, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to go around. Maybe I'll come back when I go around, and then I'll do 3 or 4 rows until the band is done. Okay. Okay, so when I come around the second row, the last one of the first one I did a single crochet. I'm going to go in the top of the half double and slip stitch it. Just push it through the top and pull it through, okay, and then chain 2, turn my work. I could turn my work and go back, but I'm going to keep going forward. So I chain 2, and I go in the same stitch right there with a half double and keep it moving and going all around. Okay, so when you come back around, you'll see that chain 2, and you'll go right in the top of the half double to connect it with a slip stitch, and it'll look pretty nice. You won't even tell it's even connected there. It'll look, and then since this yarn I have is multicolors, so all right, that's my band, and that's at the end of two rows. Foundation 1, 2. So it looks like to me I'm going to be doing about 4 to 5 because I don't want too wide of a band. Just about like that. All right, I'll come back when I have the width, and then we'll go into the design of the rest of it, and we'll be done. All right, I'm back, and I have, let me see how many rows. I'm somewhere else now. I'm visiting my aunt's house today. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 rows. And I want you to see something, that this is my beginning and this is the end, and you really can't tell it. You know, I don't like anything with seams, so I think that looks really nice. So what I'm going to get ready to do is start a chain stitch. As soon as I decide what that is, I'll be coming back to show you, and we'll go from there. Okay, I said there was 9 rows, so it's only 7 rows. I want you to see something, kind of when I close it off here. When I do my work, I don't like to see seams, so I try to come up with a seamless look when you connect 2 rows together. It's easier to do it with single crochets and half doubles. When you get into double crochet and triple crochets, you have to get a little bit more creative when you seam these together, when you finish 1 row and start another row. And so in some other applications, I will show you how to do that in some other patterns that I'm working, but right now this one is a half double. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to probably chain, whenever I'm working diamond shapes, or I normally use an odd number of chains so that when I come back, I'm always in the middle of it. So this particular one, just going to keep it simple, and I'm going to do chain 5. So I'm going to chain 5, and then I'm going to skip 3 and go into the 4th space, I think. And so we got a total of 60 stitches around, so 159. So if you really wanted to be exact, you would use a calculator, which I don't have in front of me, and calculate 4 into 159 and see what that comes out to see if you're even. But normally I just guesstimated what I want to do when I get around to the other side. I'm only playing with 2 to 3 stitches, so it shouldn't be a problem. So I'm going to chain 5, I'm going to skip 3, and then I'm going to do a single into the next one and do that all the way around. So I'll let you see that. Okay, this is what that looks like, and I think that's too big for me. I don't want my holes that big. You might like your holes that big. Like I said, this, you could be making this for a top, a sweater, a poncho, whatever. I'm just making it for a cover-up right now, but I don't like that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little smaller, and I'm going to chain. I'm still stick with the chain 5, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm only going to skip 2 and go into the 3rd one, and I'll show you what that looks like. I'll do it twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2 and go into the 3rd one. All right, so that gives it, makes the hole not as quite as big. You might not see the difference. It's just a little difference because I didn't skip 3 and went in the 4th one. Okay, now let me show you what chain 3 looks like. So chain 3 looks like, giving you different scenarios here. So here's a chain 3, skip 1. So with the chain 3, you're only going to skip 1 in between and go into the second one. 1, 2, 3, skip 1 and go into the next one. Okay, let me show you what that looks like. Okay, I'm loving it more. And as I go down this piece, I can make these bigger. Like I can make them smaller around the thigh area, and then when I get down to the thigh, I can make them a 5 chain. You know what I mean? Make the holes a little bigger as it goes down, but keep it a tighter, smaller one upper close to the behind the area. That's what I'm going to do, you guys, a 3. But there's another one I want to show you that you can do. And let me see if I can turn the camera on the other side. This is if you were doing a double crochet. Or, yeah, double crochet. And at the beginning, remember I told you how I don't like to see seams? I'm going to show you how to alleviate a seam. So what I did was chain 1. Let me see if I can go on the other side of the camera so you can watch me work. I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to yarn over. This is kind of awkward. I'm going to go right back in that same space and pull up a loop. Okay, I'm going to drop off 2. Then I'm going to drop off the other 2. And then I'm going to go back in these 2 loops here and do a single. And then I've made what appears to be like a double crochet. Let me put a double crochet next to it. No, then I'm going to chain 1 in between, skip 1, go over and do a double. Okay. I don't know if you can see that when we come back around. And it looks better than a chain stitch. Then I'm going to chain 1 in between, skip 1, and do a double crochet. Guys, this is really awkward, me and this camera today. But it looks better than just a chain stitch, I think. But it's going to be your choice. So that's another square you can do all the way around. That's going to take a little bit more yarn than doing the chain. So remember that. Think about that when you're deciding on what you want to do. When you're deciding your pattern. So I've showed you the diamond shape. Diamond shape is either 3 or 5. And then double crochet. You could do triple. Triple is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Triple is 5. It's 4. Triple is 4 chains plus the 1. Wrap around twice. Skip 1. And do a triple. 1, 2, 3. That's a triple. And this will kind of make the pattern go faster too if you did triples, because they're a little taller. It would be less rows, but I don't want my holes that big. You could also do just double crochets all the way around and not skip anything. So a double is a chain 3. Is the height. Chain 3 is the height of a double crochet. So you could start out by chaining 3 and do a double next to it and just do doubles all the way around if you like. And all the way to the ground. So there's different things. I'm going to do I don't know, I was kind of falling in love with the double crochet, skip 1, double crochet. And I can also put a couple of different flavors in here, but I'm going to go with my simplest. I'm going to do chain 3, skip 1. Okay? I'm going to do chain 3, skip 1 all the way around. Maybe further down in the piece, I'll change directions or change a pattern. I like to put multiple designs in my pieces because it gives it texture. And so I'm going to do this all the way around, and I'm going to come back. But what I just ended up doing is just showing you some different things that you can do. Now, as I come back around, you'll see the points come in here when we come back. And I'll show you how I also lock the point in or just go in the whole space. And I'll show you that when I come back around, okay? But this is going to be beautiful, and I just wish you could feel it. Somebody was over yesterday, and I handed it to them, and they were just saying how it felt so nice, and it's going to lay so nice once it's done. Alright, I'm coming to the end of the row, so I'm skipping 1, doing a single crochet in that one, and then there's 1 left. So, and then there's the space on my chain 3. I'm at the end and the beginning. So what I'm going to do is chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to lock it. Now, you have the choice of going in the space and doing a single, which is going to be faster. But remember that your work will slide, will move in there. What I normally do is I call lock it in. So I go to the middle one, which is the second one, because this is a 1, 2, 3. And I take the extra time and I find the middle and go in the middle chain, whether it's a 3 or a 5 square. You guys, I got the foam in between my legs, if you can't tell. Trying to video this. So now, that's the beginning and the end. So, what you might want to do is put a marker here so that you know your beginning and your end. What I do is just take another string or something, or actually a marker. When I come back, I'll probably have a marker in there. So now, this whole next row, I'm going to just jump over to the space and either go in the space, but knowing me, I'm going to go into the second 1, 2, this in the middle of the second chain, and make a single. And the reason why I do that, it makes my diamond points more precise, there, than going into the space, but it's your choice. I'm a perfectionist a little bit when I'm designing. I like the things to look not homemade. Not to say going in the space is not going to make it look homemade, but I'm just giving you design elements of design, okay? So chain 3, I'm going to show you. I'll jump over to the space, and I'll put a single in the space. I'll do a couple of those so you can get an idea what the difference is. Oh. Got a chain 3 first in between. And then jump over to the space. Do one more. 1, 2, 3. Jump over to the space. And let me show you what that looks like. Alright, so this is locking it in to the top of the chain 3. That's locking it in to the top of the chain 3. Oh. This one I skipped over to the beginning, okay. Locked it in there. Locked it in there. And then these are just in the total space. In the space. So this is more definite on top of the work. This is in the work. And like I said, just to make it go faster, I would just go in the space, in the space, in the space, to make it more, the way I like it, I would go in the middle, in the chain 2, in the chain 2, okay? So let me do what I like for what I'm designing. And I'm going to go back to, in the top, I'm going to do a row and come back around, and I'm going to put a marker in my beginning and the end. This is my beginning and my end. I'm going to put a marker right there. And you say, why do I want to know that? Because you always want to know where your beginning and your end is so that your piece isn't lopsided. Okay? Okay, here we go. So I'm coming around. I put the marker in like I told you. I put the marker in at my beginning when I started. Alright, so I'm going to chain 3. Sorry about my sparkly nails. They're throwing you off. So this is the one before the end. So I'm going to go in there. Like, you know, I told you I'd pick up the whole stitch. And try to show you what that looks like too. So I'm going to chain 3. And here's the space of the marker. This is your beginning and your end. So I'm going to go in the stitch. Like I told you, I like to go into the middle of the stitch. It anchors it better for me. And then the next one. Okay, so look, and you see that? See how that anchors in there? It makes the diamond shape look nice. Alright, so I'm going to go in chain 3. And then we'll jump over to the next one. Go into the middle of it. Which this is a little bit more time consuming, you guys, but for me that's okay. Alright. So I'm going to do 4 or 5 rows before I come back and show you what that looks like as the piece is growing. And so when it's being worn, it's going to be worn like this. So this is the way you'll look at it. See there? It's going to be cute. Now this same thing right here that I'm making to go down around my behind and down to the ground is the same thing that you would do to go around your neck and shoulders and drop it and make it a poncho if you wanted to. Alright, same thing. Could be a poncho. Maybe it might not just be as wide. Okay, but I like to make them wide and let them hang off my shoulders. So there's a couple of things you can do with this pattern, and it'll be seamless. You will never know the beginning. You'll never see a seam going down the side. This is the same one you can do from the neck part and add in sleeves. So much you can do. I'm starting to crochet more, you guys, so trying to come back here and do more and more videos. So I will ask for comments and give me some ideas of things that you want me to do. Getting excited again, teaching. It's been over a year since I've really been doing anything, but I'm back. Alright. Love you. Love you so much, you guys. You guys really have helped me out. Alright, so I'm going to do about 5 or 6 rows and come back and show you what that looks like. And then if I decide to put any other designs in it, I'll come back. And then after that, once it's done, we'll go on to the next project. Alright, here I am. Come back around. I have done 8 rows now. This is equivalent to 8 rows. Very pretty. And I'm going to do maybe about 15 more rows. And, or actually I'm going to keep going. And when I come back, I'll be at the spot. Actually, maybe I'll put it on to see where it's at on my thigh, above my knee, and stop. And then I'm going to turn around and go back the other direction. I'm going to go back and forth because I want to have a split, an open split, all the way down to the ground. that's my thought process with this one. So I'm going to continue on for the next 10 or 15 rows. And when I come back, I'll show you what it looks like before I put the split in it. Hi. When I started this video on March the 2nd, and I got to the part where it's about 8 rows in, I think, of the diamond shape, which was March 4th. I didn't do anything else with this video. Today it's March 21st, I think. And I was going through my YouTube tutorials on my Marco Polo, because I make a lot of my videos using my Marco Polo. If you guys don't know what Marco Polo is, maybe I'll try to put a link in this description so you know what Marco Polo is. I had eyelashes on when I started this video. I had a different hairstyle. I had a latch hook hairstyle. And all of these, my locks were braided up underneath that, what I had going on, for a protective hairstyle to give me time for my roots to grow out so that I could decide if I was going to cut them out and start anew with a new hairstyle. And then COVID-19 happened, exploded. I can't say it happened because it was probably already going on, but it really wasn't affecting my life at that point. So I kind of put myself, I quarantined my own self sometime after the 4th, I guess, 4th or 5th, and just basically didn't do a lot, stayed at home. And then, like I said, today I found all these videos that I hadn't completed. I had completed my throw, my skirt that I was going to wear over my swimsuit. I was supposed to be going to Myrtle Beach in May. Now, that's not to say that I won't go in May, but it depends on what happens in the world, what's going on around me in the world. But in the meantime, I started making jewelry, making waist beads, just doing a lot of stuff. So I can go ahead and finish this particular tutorial for you. I'm going to show you the completed throw. And then I went crazy and I made another one with a different stitch with a whole bunch of different colors in it. And I used, that one is called Solomon's Knot. And I know somewhere back in my videos there's a Solomon Knot tutorial somewhere. If I can find it, I'll put a link in this particular video. If not, if you guys ask for a request in the comments and I get enough requests, I'll make another video for Solomon's Knot. Because now all we have is time. We have now been quarantined for 15 days, baby, in our homes. And I've been fighting a cold, a nasal cold. Never had allergies or anything. For these last, I don't know if you listen back at the beginning of my videos, you'll see that I was a little stuffy. And I've been like that now for those whole 2-3 weeks. No congestion, nothing in my lungs, just coughing up phlegm, blowing my nose, no coughing, no dry cough, no sore throat, no fever, none of that. So I'm just still doing all the things that I normally do. My turmeric, taking my turmeric and cinnamon and ginger, and I put hot water in it and make a tea out of that most mornings. And what else am I doing? Elderberry syrup. I have a lady that makes that, and if I think about it, I'll put that in the link. My Thieves, love my Thieves. Oh, love Thieves. That's an oil, essential oil. And I always put a little of that, rub it on my chest, rub it around my nose. Now I found out I got to rub it around my ears, around my eyes. So I'm doing everything I can to stay healthy. don't have a lot of underlying issues. I do take blood pressure medicine, cholesterol medicine, but I don't have any underlying issues. So I'm pretty healthy, do a lot of workout and everything. So anyway, let's get back to the crocheting. I'm telling you my life story here. So I'm going to see if I can position the camera a little differently here. I'm up in my bedroom right now, sitting in my recliner. So I finished it, and I even put a drawstring in it. This is as far as the yarn would take me. That 550, whatever it was, and 44 yards. So I had went and found some other variegated yarn I had and just added on to the bottom to give me a little bit more length. But what I ended up doing was, remember I told you at some point where I wanted my split at, I would just stop and turn around and go the other way. Well, you know me, I got to put some little designs and stuff and things. So that's just what I did. Did some chain stitches, that's all. And finished it out. So it's cute. It'll probably just come down to my knee. Enough to camouflage. I really wanted it to go down to the floor, but it's not going to do that. But anyway, and I can do some other things with this, I'm sure. Not just wear it as a beach cover-up. Put some shorts on up underneath it or something for the summer. But it's going to be really, really, really cute. So, and then I just did a chain stitch and drawstring through it. Alright, so then after I finished that one, I got excited. And I decided, I'm going to make one that goes to the floor. So how do you do that? I just went in my stash and got every color I could find. And did the same thing. This one, there's my band. Same thing on the other one. Just got different colors. And then, and no color, there's no seam, just wherever I stopped with the color, I just added another color. And kept going, so there's really no seam or anything in it. With this one, I decided, okay, let's do a different stitch. So with this stitch is called Solomon's Knot. Love, 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 love this stitch. Solomon's Knot. So, if you want a tutorial, or I'll see if I can find my tutorial, and I'll link it in my description. If not, like I said, leave in the comments and I'll do it. But look, all colors, and I went all the way to the ground with this one. And I think I put a kick split in that one too. Let me find it. There it is. I'll put a little click split. Now remember what I told you, mark where your beginning and where your end is at. Because if you don't, it'll be lopsided. And I think this one might have ended up being lopsided because I didn't make a notation in my work where my beginning and my end was. But because it's so long, only I know. But you know. See there? There we go. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Put some tights on up underneath it or something and wear it in the summer. But yeah. So there's so many things that you guys can do. Alright. My little doggy. I had my dog over here all week. Actually, my daughter's dog. I was keeping for her because she had to work 12 hours. And she came and got him about 10:30 last night. And there's the little... I'm going to have to hide it somewhere so the next time he comes back, he'll be looking for it. He'll find it. He'll sniff it out. All right, so that was... I'm glad I went back and looked at my YouTube tutorial on Marco Polo and found that I never finished it. That I never finished completing this video. So now that I'm down, not doing anything, I got time to make more videos. So hey, if you got something you want me to do as far as crocheting or whatever, or cooking, you know, I do that too. I can make more videos. All right. And, you know, my saying, you're blessed because you're blessed by the best. And if you enjoyed my videos, thumbs up, make a comment, and subscribe if you have never been to my channel before, or if you've been to my channel and just have never subscribed. All right, so take care, and if you find this soon, like, go and make a comment what you think I should do with my hair. But pretty much now, I have decided I'm going to cut it out. But I did post a video 2 days ago asking for yays or nays on what they thought I should do for my new look. And so look at that video. And you can always go back and look at the whole journey of how I started with them 4 years ago, 4 years and 6 months ago, how I started with them. That was interesting. I loved it. All right.